Hello guys, welcome to Mama V, your go-to channel for trending news, breaking updates, celebrity gist and social media stories. Please do not forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you never miss a trendy story. Thank you guys.
They say that when you see your neighbor's beard on fire, you should quickly fetch water to wet your own. Right now, there is no water in Aso Rock, only panic because the fire that just consumed the presidency of Venezuela is threatening to cross the Atlantic and land right here in Abuja. You have all seen the breaking news that has stopped the world in its tracks. President Donald Trump, in a move that historians are already calling the boldest military action of the 21st century, has arrested Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro. It wasn't a sanction, it wasn't a warning, it was a raid. U.S. Special Forces stormed Caracas, picked up a sitting head of state and flew him to a warship to face justice. The message was clear. Sovereignty will not protect you if America decides you are a problem. And just as Nigerians are trying to digest this shock, a new voice has risen above the noise, pointing a finger directly at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and saying, "You are next." This is not just random internet chatter. The headline you saw comes from Elias Gerasulis, a man who describes himself as an international freedom fighter, but is known in Washington, D.C. as a heavy-hitting Greek-American lobbyist with deep ties to the Biafra agitation movement and the Trump inner circle. Gerasulis has dropped a bombshell statement that is currently shaking the corridors of power. Following the arrest of Maduro, he publicly declared that Nigeria doesn't warrant the respect of a sovereign nation and explicitly stated that the U.S. should approach Nigeria in the same way it approaches Venezuela. In simple terms, he is calling on President Trump to give Tinubu the Maduro treatment. We are going to break down exactly who this man is and why his words carry weight in 2026. We are not talking about a random Twitter troll. We are talking about the man who facilitated high-level meetings between Biafra agitators and key U.S. senators like Ted Cruz, the same people advising Trump right now. We will analyze the specific accusations Gerasulis is making, linking the Christian persecution narrative to the charges of illegitimacy that dogged Maduro. And we are going to look at the terrifying possibility. If Trump is already launching airstrikes in Sokoto without permission, is an arrest really impossible? If you want to understand the high-stakes chess game being played with Nigeria's sovereignty, please do me a massive favor and smash that like button right now. It helps us get this information out despite the shadow bans. And if you haven't subscribed, click that button and turn on the notification bell. You need to be here as we track who ends up in handcuffs next. To understand the danger Tinubu is in, you have to look at the pattern. Why did Trump arrest Maduro? The official reason was narco-terrorism and the violation of human rights. Now, look at the dossier Elias Gerasulis and his firm, Moran Global Strategies, have been building against the Nigerian government. For over a year, they have been flooding Washington with reports labeling Nigeria as a country of particular concern regarding religious freedom. They have told the U.S. Congress that the Nigerian government is complicit in the silent genocide of Christians in the Middle Belt and the Southeast. When Trump threatened back in November 2025 that any attack on Christians will be met with a response that is fast, vicious, and sweet, he wasn't joking. We saw the first taste of that with the airstrikes in Sokoto last week. But Gerasulis is arguing that airstrikes are not enough. In his latest statement, he argues that the Nigerian government has lost its legitimacy just like Maduro's regime did. He is drawing a direct parallel between the contested elections in Venezuela and the controversies surrounding Nigeria's own 2023 and 2027 election cycles. By saying Nigeria should be treated like Venezuela, he is essentially advocating for regime change. The Nigerian government is obviously furious. Aso Rock officials have previously labeled Gerasulis a lobbyist for terrorists, accusing him of washing the reputation of separatist groups like the Biafra Republic government in exile. They claim he is a paid agent trying to destabilize Africa's largest democracy for profit. But here is the scary part. In January 2026, Trump seems to don't care what the official government say. He is listening to his base, and his base believes the narrative that Christians are being slaughtered in Nigeria. This situation is made even more volatile with the current political climate, with Peter Obi recently defecting to the ADC to form a massive opposition bloc and the northern establishment angry over the US airstrikes in Sokoto. Tinubu is isolated. If the US decides to act on Gerasulis' recommendation, who will defend the president? The military is already stretched thin, fighting bandits who are arguably now worse after the US intervention. There's also the financial angle. Gerasulis is not just talking about arrest, he is talking about assets. Just as the US seized Maduro's planes and frozen accounts, the call to arrest TINUBU implies a total freeze of the Nigerian political elite assets abroad. Imagine if Nigerian politicians woke up tomorrow and couldn't access their London homes or Dubai accounts. That is the kind of pressure this freedom fighter is pushing for. The question everyone is asking is this liberation or is this neo-colonialism? Some Nigerians are cheering Gerasulis, seeing him as a savior who can use American power to remove a government they dislike. They look at Maduro's arrest and say, yes, come and do it here. But others are terrified. They argue that inviting a foreign power to arrest your president, no matter how unpopular, is the end of Nigeria as a free country. If Trump can arrest TINUBU, he can arrest anyone. It sets a precedent that our independence is just a piece of paper. As we watch the fallout from the Venezuela raid, the silence from other African leaders is deafening. They are scared. They know that the rules of the game changed on January 3rd. Gerasulis knows this too, and he is pressing his advantage. He is betting that Trump is in the mood for another victory to show his strength. I want to ask you, the viewer, do you agree with Elias Gerasulis? Should the US intervene and arrest Nigerian leaders if they are accused of human rights abuses? Or is this a dangerous violation of our sovereignty that we must resist at all costs? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to know if you see Trump as a threat or a solution. We will keep monitoring Gerasulis' timeline and the reaction from the White House. If we see US Navy ships moving towards the Gulf of Guinea, we will know that this wasn't just a threat. If you found this deep dive into the diplomatic crisis insightful, please smash that like button. Let's get this video to 10,000 likes to send a message that Nigerians are paying attention. And if you haven't subscribed, do it now. We are your eyes and ears in this new world order. Stay safe, stay patriotic, and watch the skies.